We have so many things we're going to try to cover here throughout the day. And our next partner from MindSphere is waiting next to us already from evosoft. And we are going to talk about, and this is, you got to listen to this title, how we ate our dog food and pushed SOA from idea to production. And he's on stage already, but let's give him a jingle, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Carsten Metzler. Those were two people applauding, Carsten. That's not bad. But maybe we see if we can get a bit more energy as we go throughout the presentation. Now, tell us more about this title. That is very interesting. How we ate our dog food and pushed from SOA, from idea to production. What is that all about?
Oh, well, first of all, thanks for the warm welcome, David. Yeah, a colleague of mine last year presented in a pitch an idea that we had about how could we bring MindSphere into production, how could we optimize production plants using MindSphere data utilization. And obviously we ate our own dog food, since now I'd like to show you what we achieved within the last year, and how we went forward. And thanks.
But it's actually rather about the connection of machine sensors, right? Basically, it's one of the
it's quite a little bit more easy if the machines are already connected. So evosoft is MindSphere partner. We are dealing with data, and I always like to pronounce that most easy is if the data is already there and I can directly start with this, even though it's not always the case. But
all right. So I'll leave the stage to you. I think we have a little, just be careful not to trip over that, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'll take care of this. Thanks. Hello. Like I said, last year we started with pitching an idea that we had dealing with optimization of flow. Wanted to present this as a one all-in solution how to do so. To explain you a little bit about what we did is, I'd like to start with an easy analogy to soccer. Like you see, evosoft is obviously located in Nuremberg. It's a smaller town in northern Bavaria. And imagine there is a soccer game on Saturday evening or whatever. And by the way, this doesn't only work in Nuremberg, it works in Liverpool, Barcelona, and wherever also. But to get the fact, when the soccer game starts, the stadium is full. And imagine that there are 40, 50, 60, in Wembley, 90,000 people walking to, coming to the stadium to see the soccer match. And remember that, imagine that they will be there exactly at the start, at one time. And how do all of them come there? By car. So think about public transportation isn't available. Everybody goes to this soccer game by car without having traffic jams. How can this work? There are researchers and studies that have found out that if cars do not control are not controlled by the traffic lights, but it's the other way around, so that traffic lights control the cars, you can get an increased flow into the traffic system. So why should we care about this? What does such a green wave do? Why is this something valid also for us? And I think we'll come to this right now. You know, on Hannover Fair, we don't talk much about soccer or traffic jams or whatever. We're talking about production. And how can I bring such a green wave into the production? So how can I decrease the congestion of the conveyor belts, for example? Or how can I get seamless flow? How can I optimize at runtime continuously? These are questions that we have asked ourselves and what we try to find a solution for. And the solution we came up with, or the idea we had to came up with is deriving data from different layers. So not only production data from the real assets with data from the controllers, but also including data from MES, from ERP systems, like from SAP, for example, are feeded into our idea or are feeded into our system, so that I can try to find out what the optimal flow within a production line could be, depending on the current behavior of the production lines, or are there any issues within, or is it working fluently, frequently, and about the current workload that I have. So what products we have to produce, what's the ordering list, and bringing all this into our optimizer. Then I can derive thereof how to bring an optimal flow within the product by setting the sequences of the parts that I'd like to produce, and also by setting the starting points of every single product. There are different ways to do so. What we preferred is to build up a digital twin of our of the production line, and then starting with simulations of how the current flow is, and then using the optimizer based on this digital representation of the plant to calculate the concrete behavior, and to calculate about how to predict what to do and how to prescribe to work with the system, or work with the sequences. We did this in MindSphere. We also have kind of user interface therefore, to which I will come somewhat a little bit later. And now to think about how do we start. So like I said at the beginning of the presentation, we have done a pitch. After the pitch, we did a prototype of how this could work well. So we built a plant, a model of a plant at our home booth in evosoft, and did this proof of concept. And after this, we did our first pilot at energy management. So it's a plant of Siemens where our C-Protect 5 controllers are produced, and there we identified potential of optimization that was worth following this task, and that's what we did there. The optimization solution doesn't work on its own. So like I said, we need a kind of representation to find out about does it really work. So we need a kind of user interface that's done with this PTI system on the left side, where I can see if the behavior of the machines or of the plant changes in the manner I intended it does. And we also need next to the data from EAP or MES systems, we also need to find out about how the machine behaves and how the machine works. And therefore, we try to collect different data to find out about engineering data about how the machine works. And that's done with DigiHub, and then, of course, AdFlow is the third part of the complete approach, where I can find out about where then get all these facts and do the optimization. What's the offer that we can right now present? It's the value you get from this, from our approach, from the optimization approach, is divided into 3 steps. We have the first one where we are talking about an optimization assessment. In this assessment, we try to find out about how a plant behaves and about what would be the optimization question, the optimization goal that's needed to be solved. So find about the customer needs, what he likes to improve in his plant. From this, I'm able to predict an optimization potential, even though it's not yet started, but I can say, okay, it's worth working on this, or it isn't. And I can also do recommendations derived from the data utilization. I can find out if the system is, from engineering point of view, is behaving in a proper and an accurate way. After this first optimization assessment, there is there's a milestone where we have to do a go, no-go decision. So is it worth following the plan? Is it worth to start with the implementation, or isn't it? And then we come to the second part, is digitalization, where I'm getting all the data that's necessary from me as SCADA systems and whatever, build the digital twin, do the simulation, and then start the optimization based on this. So this is where I bring my or our solution into production and start with optimization. After this digitalization part, the system can go live, and what we offer afterwards is a software as a service, where we offer continuous optimization of our software solution. So we're subscribing the software as a managed service. We are hosting this on-premise or in the cloud, MindSphere if you like, and where we also do updates to the and operating of the system. This I can see from my time. It's already gone. Doesn't matter since it's already the last sheet. So if you're interested, you're welcome to come upstairs to our booth to talk to me or my colleagues if you have any further questions or ideas how to proceed.
Thank you very much, Carsten. From evosoft, our partner, up in the MindSphere Lounge. Yeah. Once again, if you want to take a deep dive into this topic, feel free to join them.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Carsten.
You're welcome.
Siemens, ingenuity for life.